Welcome to another TechMinds video short. My name is Joe Romeo, and today we're going to be looking at the state of tablets here in very early 2011 with 3 tablets in specific which you can go out and purchase for yourself or your company right now. Alright, so we're going to dive right in. Since the advent of the iPad, when anybody thinks of tablet, this is what they think of. A very thin device, glass front, touchscreen, and only an on-screen keyboard to use. We're going to look today at 3 tablets which you can go out and purchase right now and compare a little bit on some business functionality. We're going to look at opening up a very standard Word document and a very complex PowerPoint presentation. The same documents on all 3 devices. Alright, first up here is the ExoPC. This is a tablet computer, ExoPC. It's a tablet computer running Windows 7 that has components that you'd find inside of your average netbook. It's got an Atom processor, very low voltage processor for good battery life, and an 11.6-inch capacitive touchscreen. So it's a little bit larger than the other tablets that we're going to be looking at today. This is as bright as the screen gets. It does have a front-facing video camera for video chat. We've got Skype on here, though we've had mixed results at best when using Skype. We've got Internet Explorer 9 loaded up here, and it's not too bad. I mean, it scrolls halfway decent. The touch sensitive. It's fairly responsive, although yeah, you can see here in the scrolling it's fairly choppy. That's going to be a side effect of Windows 7 on a very low power processor inside of a tablet. This is just what you're going to get. And the battery life, although they've been touting it, you're seeing here we've got power saver turned on, and because we have the screen brightness up a little bit for the video, we're going to get about 3 hours on a full battery charge, so not great with the battery life. Alright, so let's dive in here. Let's going to take a look here first at the Word document. This is just a template for a job posting for a marketing manager. So yeah, it opens up in Word just fine. Bullet points are there, spots to put your logo in. This template was from monster.com. Scrolling's great. To edit, you can tap on words. We've got our on-screen keyboard that we can pop up here. Pretty straightforward. It's a Word document. Opened up just fine, as you'd expect it to in Microsoft Word. Now here is a very complex PowerPoint presentation. This is about a 30 megabyte file, maybe a little bit larger. So this is not your standard PowerPoint presentation. But what we're doing is really showing you, where PowerPoint is going. So let's go a couple slides in. Okay, here we go. As you can tell, this is an automated presentation. This is running in PowerPoint 2010, but the animations are all automated. It's going from one slide to the next automatically with sound in the background. It's actually a pretty great example. It's a company called Duarte, DUARTE.com. They put on this sample presentation, and this comes with every installation of Office 2010. So anybody that has Office 2010, this is in your sample presentations. And at the end of the slide, they'll tell you how to go through and make a PowerPoint presentation that's animated and looks like that. So pretty cool, right? From an Office point of view, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, that runs exactly like you'd expect. The shortcomings for this kind of a tablet are really in the touch interface. Let's open up Firefox. We got the document. We hosted all the documents on our Google Documents account. Let's go to. See, even that is a little tricky. Let's go to New York Times. Nope, that wasn't it. Yep, you can already see where the frustration will kick in if you're not patient with this, because it's just not a great touch experience. You can see how, I mean, it moves in the direction that you tell it to, but not always when you tell it. So while it's nice in some cases having Windows 7 on a touchscreen, in others it can just be a pretty frustrating experience. All right, next we're going to take a look here at the Samsung Galaxy Tab. This is launched on all 4 carriers. We happen to have the AT&T version, but this is available on Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon as well. It runs Android 2.2, which is a version that was not created for tablets. This version of Android is really just scaled up. It's the same thing that you'd find on most of the Android phones that you'd go out and purchase from a store today. So we're going to take a look at Documents to Go. We have found to have the best results for displaying Office documents on Android. There are a lot of options out there for programs, but this is what we had the best results for. So we did download this locally. First is the Marketing Manager, which is a docx file. It's just a Word document that's created in Office 2007 or 2010. And it looks just fine, right? A little bit slow on the scrolling side to side, but it looks exactly like it did on Windows 7, just like you'd expect it to. You can do all your editing in here. One thing that we do miss is, you remember there was a spot to insert your logo when we opened this in Word, and that isn't here. But the meat of the document itself carried through just fine. That's a shortcoming that you're going to notice a lot with these mobile devices, is while you're going to get the text and the content for all of your documents just the same as you'd open it in Word, there are some formatting quirks, and it just kind of goes to show that for people who rely on documents day in and day out, there really still is no substitute for Office 2007 or Office 2010. Okay, so this PowerPoint presentation, let's open that up. This is, again, a huge 30 megabyte plus PowerPoint presentation. It's saved in the new PowerPoint format .pptx, created in Word 2000 or PowerPoint 2010. So far, so good, right? The first slide looks absolutely great. You're going to see these ads at the bottom. This version is of Office to Go, Documents to Go for Android is ad supported. It's free. Switching between slides, that's very fast. It attempts to do animation. As you can see there, it tried, but there's no way for this mobile software to do the automated PowerPoint presentations just like you'd see in Office. Oh, come on, let's get to the next slide. Didn't even attempt the animation there. Nope. Oh, that's frustrating, isn't it? There's the graph, but it just tries it might. It can't do it. You're not going to get the audio recording that was playing behind the presentation or any of the fancy effects. For simpler PowerPoint presentations, something like this is just fine. But again, there really is no substitute right now for the full Office suite for people who do these things day in and day out. All right, and last up, we're going to take a look at the iPad here. This, I'm sure, is something that everybody has seen. It's getting very good adoption in the business environment. A lot of companies are deploying these to their employees. A lot of employees are just purchasing them, bring them into work, and saying, hey, make this work with what we do. That's a lot of what TechMinds does. That's our shameless plug. Head to www.yourtechminds.com after this presentation, and you can kind of see an example of the things that we do. But the iPad, we're going to try this in a couple of different ways, because for a few reasons. It's not as straightforward as Android. So in Android, we just downloaded the presentation from Google Docs, and you can open it in whatever you want. Because there's no file system for these devices running Apple's iOS, the only way to get documents downloaded is to go through an application. You can't just do it from the web browser. So we've got this program that we like called called Memeo Connect. Let's go first to the documents, and we're going to grab, when it comes up, here we go, the Marketing Manager template that we opened up on the other two devices, and look at that. It even left the spot to import the company logo. A little slow in the scrolling, but I mean, that's pretty equivalent. That did a little bit better job than Documents to Go did on Android. Although it's still not as simple to edit as it is on Word on your computer. It's pretty good. And it crashed. Okay, let's try that again. We're going to go into Connect, Presentations this time, and we're going to attempt to load up that very large PowerPoint presentation. There we go. 5 rules. And it has to download again. All right, that took a few minutes to get started, but here we go. It's almost done downloading now. As soon as it finishes, it will open up. Yeah? It'll let us open it up. Good. And we can either view it here in Documents to Go, and it kind of views it as this static PowerPoint slide. As you can see, it just gives you the final view. It doesn't even attempt to do any of the animations. And even at that, it takes a really long time to load. Not ideal for big presentations. So let's do something else. Oh, there's that great animated slide. Let's open it in Keynote. Now, I've tried to do this a few dozen times, and every time it's crashed. Let's see if it does it on video for you guys to see. It's importing the presentation into Keynote. We're just going to let it do its thing. It might take another 15 seconds or so here. I know this makes for terribly exciting video, but for those working professionals and IT decision makers out there who are watching this video, this is very important stuff. If you rely on Word and Excel and PowerPoint documents, you need to know it's going to work, and it doesn't. So it crashed. All right, so to recap real quick, we've got 3 real options out there right now if your organization wants to move to tablet computers today. That's this 9.7-inch screen on the iPad, very thin, very light, fantastic battery life. You've got the 7-inch screen on the Samsung Galaxy Tab, which has, while not as great battery life as the iPad, a very nice form factor. It's not as thin, but it's certainly easier to hold one-handed. And then you've got the large 11.6-inch screen on this ExoPC, which is running the full Windows 7. Now, of course, all of these devices, you can pair up Bluetooth keyboards. You can also pair a mouse with this, and it has USB sockets on the side, so you can just plug things in. You don't actually have to do everything with Bluetooth. You can just plug in a USB peripheral in and it'll work. So that's our video. Thank you very much for bearing with us and seeing a couple of real use cases for tablets in the business environment. Feel free to check out our website at www.yourtechminds.com. You can follow us on Twitter. We are Your TechMinds. And as always, send any email questions to info@yourtechminds.com. I'm Joe Romeo, and we'll see you later.